We are having so much fun, and we know you're going to love our next guest. His name is Tony Walker, and he is a comedy guy. Comedy cures everything. So.
Absolutely. I had cancer at the age of 32, and I do believe that the laughter and the positive attitude got me through it just as much as the medications did, which led to the comedy troupe that I run called Knockem Comedy. We do dinner theater, murder mysteries, game shows, kid shows. You know, we're not stand-up or anything like that, just comedy shows, variety shows.
You go to restaurants and where else? Like theaters?
Restaurants, private parties, corporate events, fundraisers. Did I say fundraisers?
Fundraisers, firehouse.
Comedy shows, they're murder mysteries, they're audience participation. It's a scripted show because, you know, there's clues and hints that have to go out, but it's not a don't blink or you'll miss something. It's not Agatha Christie. You know,
Right.
it's a comedy, it's lighthearted, but one of the characters does get killed,
Right.
and then the audience has to figure out who did it and why. And if it's a private party or a corporate event, we personalize it to fit, you know, their event.
Now, do you ask the audience for help with the mysteries? Or
Yeah, they solve it.
All by themselves?
Based on what they saw during the show, we even give them a little section where they can interrogate the suspects.
Oh, that's
and,
fun.
You know, so we'll deflect, deny, point fingers at other characters, but everybody makes the rounds throughout the whole room and talks to people.
The show is guaranteed. It's 100% guaranteed fun.
Totally.
Everywhere we go, everybody loves that show.
The audience they just get so involved, and there's just such a part of the show, and that makes it even better.
Other things that you do aside
Yeah,
from
we
mystery.
do game shows. Oh, the game show, we have a podium with lights and buzzers and sounds, and it's basically
Like
a
a
trivia
family
game
feud.
show, or it could
Right.
be, you know, again, we ad-lib with that too, so they may want a trivia game show, but if we show up and they're a loud, boisterous group and they're a lot of fun, we could ask them to do funny physical challenges, or do some karaoke, or whatever, or name that tune, whatever we feel like doing, and they'll be willing to do, we'll take it there.
What movie introduced the phrase, "There's no crying in baseball"?
What letter comes after A? Yes, there you go. Go ahead. B is correct!
Is there a favorite skit that you do that just still cracks you up every time you do it?
We do a lot of audience participation murder mystery shows, comedic murder mystery shows. And there's two shows. We have a mob show. We're in New York. You have to have the mob shows. And we have a redneck wedding, which is just
Oh, that I have
it's
to
a
come
lot
see
of
that
fun.
one.
You're welcome
Yeah!
anytime. Anytime. In fact, I even
Well,
brought
growing
you
up
a
in
shirt.
St. Louis, Missouri, I have to say, you did?
Oh, of course I did. That you will wear
Hey!
everywhere you go. In fact, I have a whole bunch there. I'm giving one out to everybody.
Everywhere I go. Okay.
That's right.
There you go.
Knockem Comedy.
Oh, that's great.
Can I
Knockem
pretend I'm
Comedy.
drinking something here?
Excellent. Yeah, you can pretend like
Thanks,
you're drinking something.
I'm having fun on the set.
You know, we actually do put water in it when guests asks,
Just
we
not
do. But
this
if you
guest.
if you don't ask ahead of time, wait, this one's full of water. You ready? One, two,
Nice.
three. All right, there you go.
Johnny, you have a good time tonight or what?
Had an awesome time.
All right. KDC, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, all right.
Hey. No, you had this whole conversation with me in your head because I didn't.
No, I did. I told you.
hear any of this. This is all like completely new stuff. So, weirdo. I feel like you need to move over more because the thing's right in your face. $10 seconds.
This is Govs Radio. Govs Radio.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show, coming at you live from Governor's Comedy Club, the legendary Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown. Thanks for joining us this morning. GovsRadio.com is the website. You can see our show there live right now.
Okay. Okay, we'll just do that for right now.
The Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair, from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. So call Two Eagles Auto Body and ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527. The Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repair.
This is Ruth Buzzy, and I'd like you to know how much I love the Knockem Dead Radio Show coming to you live on govsradio.com. Oh, you make me laugh. You really do. Oh, please. I can't do this anymore.
I'm Danny Bonaducci, and you are watching Govs Radio. This is where you go if you want to see something, or if you want to hear something funny. Coming up in just a couple minutes, this is a joke I told. What? I'm not on Gov Radio? Call the police. Call my agent. Hi, I'm Danny Bonaducci, and you
How do you say there, people? It's Johnny Brennan, creator of the Jerky Boys, also of Fox TV's Family Guy fame. I just want to let you know you're listening to Tony and Sallie on the Knockem Dead Radio Show. They're gonna keep knocking them dead, so keep listening, you wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie.
Hey, Tony, you're not funny, and you probably shit yourself a lot, and you're no fun to be with, and you don't make that much money, and you're not going anywhere in show business, and I hope you get hit by a bus, and hey, Tony, you're not funny, and you probably shit yourself a lot, and you're no fun to be with, and you don't make that much money, and you're not going anywhere in show business, and I hope you get hit by a bus, and
3-2 to Mookie Wilson. Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
Hello, Tony. Mookie Wilson here, 1986 Mets. How you doing? Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, at Knockem Day Comedy Radio, man. I miss you. I wish I was still up there, man. But I'll wait till it warm up a little bit, and hopefully this year things will be a little bit better, man. But when we're talking about comedy, hey, the early years of Mets was a lot to laugh about. You had to make a lot of comedy off those guys. Hey, hope to see you guys during the summer, and hopefully get back on the show, man, at some point in time during the course of the year, all right? All right? Yeah, fine. Contact me, man. All right, Tony. Talk to you later.
Hi, everybody. Hi, it is Friday. Yay, it is November 5th. Welcome to the Knockem Dead Comedy Podcast, coming at you live from Gov's Podcasts. Right? Is that the right one? Yep, Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. Everybody's tuning in this morning. Hello, DJ D Love. No. Hello, Beansy. Hello, Elizabeth. Hello, Jeff Bosey.
Oh.
Elizabeth and Kirsten. Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. The Knockem Dead Comedy Podcast on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. We're coming at you live from the legendary Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown. That is where you will find Mike Fenoya this weekend or Eric D'Alessandro this weekend. But go to govs.com and check out the schedule and make some reservations for some great comedy shows. Just like Mike Fenoya also at the Brokerage this weekend. The Uncle Louie Variety Show at the Brokerage tonight. Cool. Do not miss that. Go see it. Have you ever seen those guys?
I have not.
Oh, they're fantastic. I love those guys. I wish I can get there.
Me too.
I missed them at McGuire's. I'm missing them tonight. But they're fantastic, so you have to go see that. Mike DeMayo's playing McGuire's this weekend. Lots of good stuff. Go to govs.com to go see some great comedy shows. And, of course, go to knockemdeadcomedy.com to see some great murder mysteries or some game shows. And go where to see Andy Placenos? What do you got?
I don't really have much of anything. I got a couple of shows coming up. I'm hosting a show on Black Friday.
Oh, yeah?
Is that McGuire's? I can't even remember. Let me see.
How'd it go last week?
Oh, not good.
What?
Not good. Oh, it is at McGuire's. Oh, good. I can promote that.
What do you mean?
Friday, November 26th.
Is this something I should have asked you before we went on?
No, I was saving it to
you were?
discuss. Yeah, because it was not.
Are we talking about the same thing? McGuire's last week?
Yeah.
What
My
happened?
headlining. So it was the night that like the rain and wind and everything. So I think that kept some people.
Plus it's Halloween weekend.
Yeah. Yes, and it was a late show. Finally met Chris Monty, which was super cool because I was able to be like, and you know, like the code that you speak with somebody when you have like a mutual friend but you haven't met, of being like, hey, we have a mutual friend. Oh, who's that? Oh, Susie Dunn. Oh, cool. How do you know her? Like, oh, well, it's my wife's best friend from growing up, like Kings Park, from Kings Park, whole way through. Oh yeah, right before. I haven't seen her in a while. She's It was right before the lockdown. Me and my wife went over for dinner at her house, and I'm like, you know, you're giving the validation of like, it's okay, I do know her well.
Right.
So we're at the same level. I'm like, cool. All right. Thanks.
And does that help? Like, get, you know?
No, I think that it's a social currency. It's kind of like I'm always the middle-aged me. I have to get out the "Have a nice day" before the other person.
Oh.
Or take it easy. You know, like whatever that greeting is.
But before the other person?
Yeah, because if they say the same thing I am, and you say it like kind of like a half step after them, like take it easy. Like they're take it easy. And I just feel like less of a human being if I don't. But these are like these validation things.
It's no different than, hey.
I know, but when it's a casual, like the guy on the truck, the food truck.
Yeah.
Like, we're not great friends, but like, I don't know. It's like a dominance thing. It's like being the top dog.
Oh.
The dog on top humping.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. Dominance. Yeah. You're like dominatrix. Yeah.
Sorry, I got lost there in humping dogs.
The food truck guy.
Yes. But, yeah, it's one of these things. It's just like a low-level social, like we all do it. Because we're constantly trying to do like some sort of dominance.
Who was that?
I have no clue.
Oh, that was Carletto.
Oh, I've never actually directly met.
I didn't recognize him. He had like a hat and glasses.
He
looked like he was hunting.
That looked like a CIA deep cover operative for Long Island. Like that he had to infiltrate Long Island.
We're getting raided or something.
He was not clean shaven, which every time I've seen him, he's pretty clean shaven.
Yeah, he's a classy guy, but then behind the scenes he's Italian. They can grow a beard in a day and then shave it.
As a Greek.
Yeah, you guys are. You guys
swarthy.
Are right there.
We're swarthy.
Swarthy.
Speaking of words.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you impressed me right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it did not go well.
So what do you mean it didn't go well? Just what, as far as turnout, or you weren't connecting with the crowd? What do you mean?
Turnout was a little low. The crowd was not 100% in it. We had a heckler, this drunk dude.
Really?
The bouncer there is lovely.
Oh, he's great.
McGuire's.
I don't know his name, but
I don't either. But like all my friends, it's funny because like
I love that guy.
Like Billy, he loves Billy. He thinks Billy's fucking hilarious, and he's always like, "Oh, hey man, I told you I love that one joke." Like, and but somebody said something to Butera. Butera said something to him, and like he bought the guy a drink, got him out, and whatever. But like he still kind of was. Then I went on. It was after midnight. It was just after midnight because it was a long. So it was a long show. The show started at 10:30. It was a long show.
Oh.
And I was doing something kind of I had never done before, which was combining the two major acts that I do.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I was going to be doing 20 minutes, and it just was. And I'm disappointed in myself because I let it get to me when I was up there. I bombed.
While you're up there,
it was a.
This is really? You think it was that bad? You think you bombed?
Yes, there were only a couple of people laughing. It just wasn't.
Yeah, but after an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Why do I see a lot of these guys do that? They throw up 1,800 comedians. Why?
So it's a numbers game. It's about bringers. It's also about. So if you only put really good comics on your shows in these bar shows or produce shows at the Governor's, you're not going to have a crowd. There's really not. It's not like somebody's like, "Ooh, Andy Plagenos, I got to go see that guy." No, none of us are known enough. It's sort of getting. It's almost a way for people to have stage time, like real stage time in a real show.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so that the bringer is somewhat of a necessary evil. I don't care what anybody says. It is a necessary evil. Do you need to do only bringers? No, you shouldn't. And you should also recognize when you're no longer able to bring and be honest with the producer. Because then if you're funny and the producer will be like, "Oh, well, you're really good. So I want to," and they'll start mixing into the show people who are going to bring people and people who won't. And because that's there's a few of us that I brought one. It was my wife. One person who came to see me. Billy's mom was there.
Yeah, but Billy was there.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Well, Janice likes me.
Janice.
Yes, yes. Well, I was that now infamous comic heckling other comics at a Butera show during the Speakeasy days.
Yes.
Where he falls.
Mm-hmm. Love that video.
You actually see Billy's mom is the woman who's closest
Right.
to get up, and she's like,
Right.
"Oh my God." I'm actually sitting on the other side of the table, just out of frame.
Okay.
Being like, "Oh wow." Like
somebody
I'm
fell.
that guy that I don't get up.
Somebody should do something.
Yeah. Whoa. Is he all right? Is there a doctor in the house? Yeah. What's up, Doc?
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. No. It happens, and that's what I said. Like what I take out of it, it's an experience. Whatever. I was just it just kind of it did put like a damper on it, and it was just so late. I had taken a nap, but I was tired.
Yeah, that's a
Billy
long night.
killed, which that's always
The proud uncle in you.
Yes,
Yeah.
comedy uncle. I'm comedy uncle. Like
Any of these guys call you Uncle Andy?
No, which is
They
funny.
just call you Godfather.
No, oh God, no. I'm nowhere near the Godfather. But no, they just call me Andy. They just call me Andy. Yeah. It's what I do.
Adam Snare, headliner is the most overused term in comedy. Andy's right. You need newer comics to bring.
Right.
However, we have no bringer shows down here, and I typically host 3 to 4 comics.
Oh, nice.
They don't do bringer shows down there? So how do you fill the place up there, Adam Snare?
Yeah, I'm curious to know like what kind of crowd sizes they see with that. I mean, I always think of it in terms of economics, and not that more people there get you more money for the producer. I mean, like I think of it from 40,000 feet, is that supply and demand. You have supply and demand. So you have the supply of comics, but you don't have the demand. So you have to generate your own demand.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
By having the supply bring those. I wonder if this is an Adam going to explaining?
I don't think it is. I think it's our other friend.
Our regular?
Our regular, yes. You're live on the Knockem Dead Comedy Podcast. Who's this?
This is the turkey. How you doing today, Tony? This is the turkey.
This is what? Dessirky?
The turkey.
The turkey. Well, you're calling a couple of turkeys.
Are you a cock gobbling turkey?
Yes, I am a gobbling turkey. How you doing today? I'm the turkey.
I figured. You sound like a cock gobbler.
Gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
So what do you feel about Ben Franklin wanted you to be the national bird?
I like it. Oh, I'm going to get you.
Did you do you hold it against the bald eagle?
No.
No, just like against John Adams.
I got you
went
again,
deep on
Tony.
it.
TIF. Tony.
What? Wait, what?
I stand.
I got you again, Tony.
DJ, are you
TIF.
okay? Did a turkey take you hostage? Are you okay?
You put the turkey back on the phone.
Nope, I'm good. How you doing, Eddie? What's up, buddy?
All right, man. What's up with you? I stand by everything I said, by the way.
Hey, anyway, where you were last Saturday, man? That show was really good.
I think I was out actually murdering people.
It was fun. It was fun.
It was fun.
What are you doing today, there, DJ D-Love?
Well, I'm doing today. I'm going out today. I'm going to play bingo today.
Nice. Bingo, very nice. You bringing a lot of money?
I hope so. I hope so.
Oh, okay. So there's cash prizes at this bingo game?
Yes, it is.
Ooh,
Of course it is.
Look at you. Well, I didn't know you were a gambler.
Yes, I am not a gambler that much. I like to play different games,
Oh, all right.
Feel
Very
right.
nice. So, and then tomorrow you're going to see Dorian, right?
No, not tomorrow. I'm hoping soon.
Oh, I thought you were... Didn't you tell me you were going to see him? Or is that
No, I
next?
was going to see him maybe next week after.
Oh, that's next week. Oh, okay. All right, very nice.
For all you Knockem Dead people, if you guys don't know who I am, my anniversary was just past this weekend, so I want everybody to know that.
Okay, yeah, it's 2 years, right?
Yeah, it's been 2 years that we got married on Ghost Radio.
Right
and
here
we
in
were
this
together-
room.
We were together 21 years together.
Right.
Yikes.
And
what about free milk and a cow?
And the room still smells from all the DJ Dorian love that went on in this room.
A lot of Santorum that day.
All right, well, very nice. So,
well, I got a little song for you guys today.
Excellent. Let's hear it.
Yo, my name's DJ Love, and the place to be. Let me tell you something, man. I just want to let you guys know, me and Dorian, we got on Gulf Radio 2 years ago. We got our anniversary. Yes, happy anniversary to us. Man, I don't know what I'm doing next. Man, I want to say happy anniversary to me and my husband, Dorian Murphy. We got it 2 years now. Yeah, that's what I got to say to you. Knockem Dead, the #1 show. Keep on watching. Keep on Knockem Dead. DJ Love says, Big guy talk to you guys. I'm on do it. Oh, yeah.
Yay. Woo!
Nice job. All right, pal. You have yourself a great weekend.
Oh, one more thing, Tony. I
Sure.
come on your page, but you never caught on my pages. Not once. You come on one page.
I did.
You come on one page. You come on one picture.
Yeah,
not the rest
he's
of them.
old. He's really, really old.
Well, DJ's the same age as me, actually. We're the same age.
I was trying to help you out.
I know. But
And I
appreciate
vanity,
that.
vanity over annoyance.
Oh, Andy, you should see the page that Tony I put up on Tony.
Wait, what?
I saw Tony last week.
Yeah.
And you didn't comment on it either. Nobody commented on my page.
Because nobody cared. They just want to see pictures of you. They don't care about.
I don't go to Instagram.
Well, you should go there one day and just comment on my pictures, bro.
I feel you.
All right, DJ. Never mind. I was going to answer the other call, but it's gone. All right.
One more thing I got to say before you guys. You guys have a blessed weekend. I'll see you guys Monday. You suckers.
Suckers! There you go. Yeah, he took a picture. I don't know if I told you we did the murder mystery, and afterwards they had a costume contest, and they may have had some raffles. I don't even remember, but DJ came up. Sally's handling she's a stage manager. She's handling the sound. He comes walking over at the end. He's it says he wants the microphone to give a speech. She just looked at him. She goes, "No." Sent him on his way.
Thank God she was in charge of the sound equipment.
Yes, exactly. This is the call you've been waiting for.
Referencing.
Do they stay awake long enough to go to a comedy show down there in Florida, or you just do like early bird specials?
You just look out in the crowd and see all that blue hair.
Yes.
You have a whole bunch of men to choose from to compare them to Kenny Rogers or something with that hair.
You're just like saggy balls. Am I right? Am I right? Saggy balls.
So all right. So you bring up a good point that because it's all tourists down there, so they don't have a need for bringers.
For example, one of the places I do is Margaritaville Resort, right?
Okay.
It's built-in audience. There's people on vacation. They've never once asked me to promote it or sell tickets.
Wow.
They probably give the tickets away to the people who host it. And every venue down here that I've hosted, they've never said, "Oh, please try to bring people."
Wow.
So the venues handle the ticket sales.
Oh, man.
The problem, I won't even say the problem. It's a different world. But like Andy, and I'm sorry that show. I know you were looking forward to it.
Yeah, but it happened.
Dude, 10:30 Halloween weekend's brutal as it is.
Yeah. Yeah, you were missed to commiserate with.
But I mean, how many people? How much did Governors promote that show?
They did. It was there.
Yeah, but it's all on the comics, right? to sell tickets.
True.
I mean, it's on the website, yeah, but I mean,
Well, that's what happens with the produced shows, because basically it's the producer is renting the space.
Right, exactly. It's a rented room.
Right, exactly. Because it would be just the same thing. I mean, it's a lovely. They're all lovely stages, and the atmosphere and everything is fantastic. But in essence, business wise, it's the same thing as going to a bar.
Right.
You're exactly right
for the producer.
And the other thing, Andy, I'll say is, and I know you do it, and I do it, and Billy does it. But there's a lot of comedians who are on these shows, these 15, 18-person shows, who don't promote it.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're embarrassed to be on it, if they don't give a shit, what the deal is. But, like, the way I look at it, and Andy, I think you look at it the same way, and so do you, Tony, is when you're doing this, you're kind of trying to make yourself a brand, right?
In a way.
And,
Yeah.
you know, and if you don't promote it, how is anybody going to know that the show even exists?
Right.
There's so many, I'm not going to name names, but there's so many comics I never see promote one single show. And I know they're doing shows every week or every other week.
Right. To like 15 people, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I've heard about
Like,
these
oh,
things too, yeah.
There was like nobody in the room. Yeah. Right.
Right. Well, how, yeah, if a comedian tells a joke in the woods and nobody's there to answer, you know?
Right. He killed.
But, yeah.
Dude, I was
everybody
killed. There
kills
was
every
nobody
week.
there, and I fucking killed.
Everybody kills every weekend.
What do you guys think? There's oversaturation too?
Well, that's that economic model. Absolutely. Like, there's not the demand for it.
Right.
It just doesn't exist.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, there's 3 governors clubs, right? Plus all the bar shows. So if you don't know a comedian personally, you're going to pick and choose. You're going to go to the 8 o'clock show at the big club in the big room, right?
Yeah. Right.
Like
Well, that was what was so crazy about that roast battle, that there were so many people that had bought sight unseen. They were just like, oh, and maybe it was because the ticket price was less.
Yeah, right.
For
Could
it,
be.
Yeah, but
could be.
Don't you think that was a lot of friends, though?
No,
Like
I
the
mean,
ones
there
who-
were a lot of friends, and that's just, I would say like 75% of the crowd was friends, but it was amazing to me that there was 25% of the crowd that was not, that they just
that's pretty
came
cool.
to see a comedy show.
Yeah, that's a good
But-
number.
But credit to Rocco and Travis who ran that thing. I saw that thing promoted like fucking crazy.
Oh, absolutely. And
Like that
I
was,
think we all did.
and that should be every show.
Right.
That should be every show. And you know, you're not promoting for other comics, or maybe you are, but like I saw it when I was up there all the time. People who were doing shows, the same shows I was doing, and didn't post it once.
Yep.
And you can't bitch when 6 people are there,
right?
If you're not going to advertise, it's part of the game.
Well, it's funny because like people aren't going to get better either by doing that. They're not like, if you do a show in front of like it's like going to an open mic.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's because
exactly.
there's a difference between a show and an open mic. Like you,
Yeah, well, it's practice versus the game. That's the way I look at it.
right? Even if let's call bar shows a scrimmage and club shows the game. Like you need
Sure,
to
sure.
scrimmage.
Yeah.
If you don't scrimmage, you're not gonna. Let's see how deep into this metaphor we can get. And then you're up to
Lace
bat.
them up.
So so it's really worked out nicely for you then, because you don't have to do any promotion, and it seems it seems like you're performing just as much as you were here, if not more. So from a comedy standpoint, it's really worked out for you down there.
Yeah, absolutely. I honestly, Tony, I thought I was going to come down here and it was going to be done. I was never going to, I would do a few open mics. I'd visit up there, and that would be it. I got hooked up with this company called Bonkers, who basically, I think they're out of Vegas, and they have rooms all over the country, but they don't actually have a freestanding club.
Right.
Okay.
And they, I did one show for them. I think my first show was at Margaritaville, which was crazy. And I hosted, which I think I've only hosted once before, and I did well, and they liked me. And now they booked me. I'm probably doing a Bonker show every other weekend. And then through that, people see that's the thing. People see you're working, and then the other people want you.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yep.
Well, that was even something up here. That once I started, and the people that I went to the mic, the first mics that I went to, if I hadn't seen them for a while, there was like a period where I just like was doing several shows and promoting it and whatnot, and they come back to you and they're like, "Hey, Andy, I haven't seen you in a while. You've really been out there." And it's
That's
like,
it.
and it doesn't feel like it, but you're like, yeah, but I'm promoting it, and
Right.
people are
Yeah,
seeing me and putting me on other shows.
Andy, you and I had spoken when I very first started, like very early on,
right?
And I think we see it a lot the same way.
Well, it has to do with age to a certain extent.
That might be.
We're old.
You know what? You're right, but and I get it, but there is wisdom that comes with it, where some of these people, you know, and it's. I don't want to generalize, but I'm going to.
Yeah, do it.
People who first get into it, they're in their 20s and they think they could get a Netflix special,
right?
And they're too good to promote the freaking, you know, the whatever the bar is where you're performing next to a pool table,
right,
or whatever. And maybe they're embarrassed. I don't know, but I say perception's reality. If you're doing 20 shows in a month, then you're doing 20 shows in a month.
Right.
You know, I don't promote that I'm doing the open mic, but you know, especially if it's a paid gig, yeah, I'm promoting that. Absolutely.
Well, it's funny that recently there was somebody that I had to. They were tagging me in their posts of of them being at open mics, and not an open mic that I was at. And I had to kind of say, hey, man, like, it's cool what you're doing, but please don't tag me unless I'm there. If I am there, by all means, tag me. I have no problem with that. And don't make this like, it's not, I'm not angry at you. It's just, it's very hard to get people to go to things. And if they think I'm somewhere and I'm not, and they go there, they're less likely the next time to show up.
Right.
So
and
now
it's
you're
good.
a fraud.
And it's good that it's nice that you're going to promote each other,
right,
and help each other. But to tag you just to help yourself,
right?
Yeah, that's.
It's like, oh great, you're at a mic. I don't fucking care. Is that what you're doing? You're tagging me to let me know.
Well, plus you don't want to drag people to an open mic, right? Because you know that's where people are testing stuff. You're not guaranteed a good show there.
I don't.
Exactly.
Now, there are open mics that are bringers. And
oh, really?
Yes. We'll talk off air.
Yeah, that sounds a little silly to me.
It does, but there are people that do it. And it's funny because it's a certain type of comic, I feel like, that ends up doing that. And then you just don't have a great show. You'll have a decent show. These are funny. They're funny people, but they're not like... Keegan, they're not a Billy Geyer. Like they're like okay, and it's an open mic, but you're treated. Everybody else is treating it like a show, and it's like
right.
No, it's not.
I feel like an open mic is like Tony said. That's where you go to try out new stuff, right? And then you got people who go and do the set they've been doing for 5 years,
right?
And that's why they've been doing the same shit for 5 years, because that's all they do.
Well,
and they don't try out new stuff.
I think I told you is that what my thought on open mics is to go in with a plan, and that plan may not be to actually get laughs or tell jokes. Like I may be looking at it to like, how am I moving?
Mm-hmm.
Like how do I feel? Let me be in the moment as much as I can, and you know. And sometimes just go up there and spew. The last mic I went to was hilarious. Joe Winchell got up. I think he was the first one to go up. And he's like, you know what I hate is when new comics are like, I have a really weird mind. When they say that, right? They start off like... And so we all worked it into... like, we all said it before one of our jokes. I'm like... I have a crazy mind.
That's
so my
great,
daughter.
yeah.
That's funny.
But
like there's anybody normal in this business.
Right. Well, nobody is normal. That's the other thing. Like
Period. What the fuck is that? Yeah. Exactly.
Nice.
All right, boys. I will continue listening.
Thank you, pal.
And glad to see you doing really well, man.
Hey, I appreciate it. And you know, Andy, fucking shake that one off and That was circumstantial, sir.
Shake it off, please. Not here.
He's
I
like,
don't need
shaking
the
off
mess. I don't need the
fucking
mess
and
here.
circumcision.
Yes.
Like all three in one shot. You are a master, my friend.
Andy, I think Andy shook it off a couple times before he even got here today.
Yeah, it did. Power shit it. But I digress.
All right. Take care, guys.
Thanks, Adam.
Take
See
care,
you, buddy. Adam Snare checking in.
Very
which
nice
is always
to
cool.
hear from Adam.
Yeah, since you brought it up, I'm going there. The fastest shit I ever saw anybody take. Well, I didn't see it, but
all right, I have a move. This is for the people out there. I've often bathroom things cause me anxiety, and one of them is that I don't want people to know I shit. So if I do have to shit and I'm in a public place and I very obviously, like there's been nights I was in the Air Force out drinking and it's like, oh Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll go and what I do is I try to take a shit as fast as an average person goes and pees.
You accomplished that today.
Yes. And so I did that. And I also did the power move here, as I told you, of leaving the seat up because the smell was terrible. But I leave the seat up in case somebody's going into the bathroom after me. They'll be like, oh, who did that? Well, it couldn't have been Andy because the seat's up. He was obviously peeing.
Right. Yep.
So, yeah.
There's a lot of thought into that. But how do you do that so fast?
I've insane abdominal muscles.
Yeah. It's like just one big.
Yeah, that and my I can fit a baseball, regulation baseball, in my anus. So volume also counts.
So, well, if that was the truth, then you'd be like a bird. You would just dump as you're walking down the street. You wouldn't even know.
It closes. It's just it can open that much.
Oh, it closes it. Oh,
You have
like a button.
I use
you
a
press?
fist of Adonis to keep it trained. Oh, and that the place that we do the mic on Monday, there's a claw machine in the place.
Oh, okay.
And there are dildos.
Come on.
Yeah, like 8 dildos. There's stuffed animals and there's dildos in the.
Are they really dildos?
Yes. No, they're.
Well, you said stuffed animals, so I didn't know if it was like a rocket or something that
No. Literal dildo, like in plastic, like
vibrating
shrink wrap or whatever the blister pack.
Is this a bar or something? Or?
Yes, it's a bar in Setauket that's sort of like. First time I ever went there, I was like 15, and I was working at a restaurant in Port Jeff Station.
Yeah,
and I was the busboy / barback, and I used to like for the first part of the night, you're bussing tables and you're helping out the back bar guys.
Okay,
the front bar there's another guy who was dedicated to that, and so the back bar guys became like. The first drinks I ever learned how to mix were from them.
Okay.
Because they were like, well, I shouldn't say the first drink I ever learned how to mix was a rusty nail for my papu. But they one night it was dead. And they cut us all back. Right? And the guys were like, this guy Paul, one of the bartenders was like, hey, Andy, get in my car. We're going to go. It's like 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night. It's like, just... jump in my car. We're gonna go to a bar. And I'm like, Paul, I'm like fucking 15, right? And he's like, yeah, you'll be all right. So we smoked a joint on our way to this bar. He's like, I'll have you back. I'll drive you back so your mom thinks. Yeah.
Wow.
And we went to this place. It's called the Checkmate, and we went in the back, which it's a house. It's literally it is a house. And I had a couple of drinks there, and yeah, and it's always kind of been like a college / trust fund hippie place,
right?
So yeah,
with dildos in the claw machine.
Yeah, that not back in the day. Like they've actually put in there's a pinball machine, a Ghostbusters pinball machine, which I did totally rock while I was there because that was a lot of fun.
Of course,
but yeah.
Fremder, I don't know if it's me or not, but when I have to shit, for some reason, I start walking like George Jefferson. Well, that's why George Jefferson's farts never smelled, because of the way he walked. He was, like swatting it. Okay. Will Wagner, music. They're only used in really dangerous situations.
Stunt dildos.
Ah.
It's true. It's like a stunt cock.
Well, the fluffer.
Well, the fluffer is there for the stunt cock. Also.
Right.
I mean, they're there for everybody.
They're there for everybody.
Speaking of which, the superpower I most would want is the ability to give people orgasms. Like just like the movie Orgasmo.
I never saw that.
Oh, it's so good.
Is it funny?
Yeah.
But
I've never seen Book of Mormon, but I assume
fantastic.
that Orgasmo is like the prequel, is what I'm assuming. I've
Okay.
never seen it, but because he plays up the main character is a Mormon who gets mixed up in the porn industry when he's on his mission.
Okay. And but to have that power to just, but that
There was a
takes all
Chevy
the fun
Chase
out of it.
movie where he could do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I cannot remember the name of it. But he could do other telekinetic stuff. Like he gave somebody a bloody nose at one point. But there's a scene where he gets his ex-girlfriend off, not even in the bed.
Yeah, but that takes all the fun out of it. They just stand there and point at her? Like, what's...
Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's just something about it.
Yeah, I guess it's a good power to have.
Yeah, like it would just be like you're talking to somebody and what's going to put them in a great mood. Like,
oh, that's true. I'll give you that.
And to be able to, and not like boom, you get this massive, like that you can
the build up
control
the
level of orgasm you're giving.
That'd be cool.
So.
Last night I went. I had a crazy day yesterday, which I'll get to in a minute. But I went to visit a friend of mine who was in town. Haven't seen him in years, but he was in town, staying at a hotel. So I went to go see him. I figured after the day I had, I'm going to go see my pal. And I was leaving. I was there until, I don't know, I think 2:30 this morning or something. So I'm leaving, and he's walking down with me. We're walking down the hallway. So again, it's 2:30 this morning, whatever time it was. So it's quiet. We walk past this one room. Sure enough, we're hearing this woman. So we just kind of stopped. Well, we kind of just giggled, but then my friend stopped.
He went back to his room, got the glass.
Well, he goes, was that real or TV? I go, no, that was real. He goes, was it? He walks back. So now we both walk back, and we're right outside the door listening to this woman. And yeah, you can hear the TV in the background. It sounded like a regular movie. It wasn't like she was watching porn.
Right.
But yeah, she was going to town.
Nice.
Like really vocal.
Right.
Very loud, and we're cracking up. We're and of course, so now we're like, joking with each other, pantomime that we're going to knock on the door, and because we didn't hear any like movement, like there was
no squeaking of bed,
nothing like that. You didn't hear a guy, you didn't even hear like a grunt or a groan, like nothing. It was just this woman. So my buddy was convinced that she was by herself. And so I said to him again, well, you should really go in. But, and then, of course, you're joking. Well, maybe the guy's asleep or he's dead or something. but it's just, you always hear those stories or you see it in a movie or something where, you hear that in a hotel room.
Yeah.
And so it finally happened. We were laughing our asses
The one
off.
that I most think of is a Michael J. Fox movie, Secret to My Success.
Oh, I love that movie.
And he lives in this apartment, and the couple next door, and at one point he's like, conducting them.
Yes, great movie.
No, I do love that movie.
Yeah, we were dying. I was laughing my ass off. Elizabeth Vatapede, I used to sneak out of the house with my sister when I was 15. We went bar hopping. See, this is what I love about the people who hang out on our shows. Kirsten seems like a wild girl, and now Elizabeth, too.
Totes.
God, see, I have so much respect for the wild girls.
The first bar I ever drank underage at was a place called Boomers at the top of the hill in Port Jeff. It was like a stone's throw from the place.
Okay.
And it's been like 30 different things. It's closed now. Like nothing's been in there. It's just kind of like a shitty location. But that was the first bar that I had a drink in as a teenager.
15. Wow.
Yeah. And those back bartenders give me polluting my mind. The good old days.
Ruining you.
Yes. Thank God.
All right. I guess I'll get into this, and Get over it. Get past it. Our apologies to Joe Pontillo. Do you know Joe?
I have been on one show. First time I ever hosted, Joe was the headliner at a bar show in Sedona.
Wickedly funny. I've known Joe for a while. I met him years ago through Brian McGinnis. Brian, who's been in here several times.
And I just saw his commercial.
Oh, right.
The bear.
Yep. What? Elizabeth says she has 3 guys wanting to date her right now.
Oh, yeah.
Well, 3 guys and 1 girl, because Sallie wants to date you. Make that 5 guys. Me and Andy would date you. Nice.
So
well, are you still sneaking out, Elizabeth? You know, maybe that's why these guys want to date you. So, yeah, I've known Joe a long time. Very funny guy. I think we had him once in here during a green room show or something. I don't think he's ever been in here for the daytime thing. So I was really looking forward to him coming in. He's really funny. I was going to have a good time with him.
Right.
Unfortunately, couldn't do the show yesterday. So my apologies to Joe. Apologies to you guys. I posted why I couldn't come in. So I figured, and there was a lot of support coming from a lot of you guys. So and you as well. You reached out to me. A lot of people reached out to me privately. So yeah, I just wanted to say thanks, and I'll share some photos. So that's what I pulled up to. So Zach was driving east in a town called Melville, which is northwestern Suffolk County, driving east, and he was going to school. It was a little after 8 o'clock in the morning, and the sun was in his eyes, and this truck was also driving east. This is the actual truck. He was driving east as well. He told my son later on that he couldn't see either. So he was pulling over on the side of the road, but Zach didn't even know there was a truck in front of him. So Zach, since the truck was slowing down, Zach just smashed right into him. Caused quite a lot of, pretty much totaled his car. Thankfully, there wasn't a passenger, because I think it.
Yeah, no, that would have went bad.
Yeah, and then I think this picture could probably maybe show it a little bit better if the passenger see. I mean, the airbags came out, and you can even see on the roof of the car that that it's all dented in.
Buckled.
Yeah, I'm guessing that he must have went underneath the truck. I mean, why would the roof?
Yeah,
be
there's
messed
no
up?
way that the front quarter of the car is just completely obliterated.
Yeah,
that had to have been a tire that did a lot of that damage.
Yes, and that's exactly what the truck. That was the only damage the truck had. One of the tires went flat. That was the only damage the truck had.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, and my guess is that the hey, Frank Viala's calling.
Ooh, interesting.
Oh, wait a minute. No, it is. I think it is. You know Frank, right?
We met a couple of times.
I think he's coming in this week. Hello?
Tony, what's happening?
Is that you, Frank?
That's me, buddy.
We're live on the air right now.
Oh, I didn't realize that. How's everybody doing?
Everybody's doing good. Are you coming in on Tuesday?
Yes, I was calling to confirm my attendance on Tuesday.
You are confirmed, pal. Looking forward to seeing you. It's been a while.
Yes, I miss you guys.
Likewise, pal.
Mostly Sallie, but
I don't blame you. She has 2 good reasons to miss her.
yes.
And she's going to kill me for saying that.
All right, listen, I'll let you get back to your show. Thank you for having me on, and I'll see you on Tuesday.
Looking forward to it, pal.
Thanks, pal.
See ya. Frank Viala. Yeah, I'm going to yell at Frank, actually. You don't watch the Mets ever.
If I don't have to, no, I do not.
Oh, I did all that while showing the picture of the truck. I forgot to clear it. All right, sorry. Doing a million things at once here. Okay. All right, we're back. You don't. So you don't watch the Met games. Frank Viala did a commercial. A lawyer commercial,
yes,
I think it was.
Yes.
And it was the Mets do this every year. There's that one commercial that they just show like twice every break.
Right.
And this year it was him. It was that commercial. So at first it was like, hey, it's Frank, good for him. And then by the end of the season, like, Frank, shut the fuck up. So, yeah, so I'm going to yell at him.
Well, that's the ad buying company. I have a friend of mine who actually does ad buy or sells the ads to, and it used to be when he would sell, I want to say it was Old Navy ads to the Raleigh, North Carolina market, which was our television market.
Right.
When I was stationed down there. And so sometimes he would call and be like, hey, could you count how many times they're going to run this commercial? Because we paid this and Oh, yeah, all right, man. Oh, yeah, I was going to watch that game anyway. And,
sure.
And I would watch and I would sit there and just like tick off how many times I saw it. But yeah, no, it's the company goes, we're paying you this for you to play this many times in the hour.
Right.
So it's not you have to let up on the Mets on that one. It's the ad buying.
I'm still gonna. Well, I am letting up on the Mets. I'm just yelling at Frank.
Frank for doing like paid work.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
it's a super cool friend thing to do.
I'm here for him.
Fuck you and making money.
Let's see. Adam Snare says Joe's a great comic and a great guy. He's become a buddy of mine. Looking forward to hearing him on the show. Yeah, I think he is gonna. I think we're working out. He's gonna come in next week at some point. Beansy, crazy as long as everyone is okay. That's what matters. Yeah, that is. Oh, and I think that's Beansy now.
Oh, good.
What? All right.
It is Beansy.
There you go. Thanks for that call, Joe. Yeah, I mean, that is the bottom line. We're just glad everybody's okay. But, I mean, it's just, we've had enough this year. Sallie's accident, Sallie's sister, and it's just...
That's immediately what the needle has stopped on you guys.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, it's just everything's pointed at you.
Yep. So, so it was just a crazy day, and, yeah, my son was all pissed off, and you got to clear the car out, and it's definitely totaled. So we junked it already. I already turned the plates in. I got right on it, and nice. And it was crazy. So that's one thing too. I was still home. I was home yesterday morning, and I was in bed.
You're also in Sallie.
And this app called Life 360 comes on. It totally cock-blocked me. But this, if you're not familiar with this app, it's basically, anybody can sign on to it like a group. You can have a group, and you can keep track of each other if you lose your phone or if somebody's in a situation and you need to find them. And it's called Life 360, and you can, as long as you register with it, you can be in a group of people and check up on each other at any time you want.
Right.
But apparently they have this feature where if you're in danger, if you have trouble, you hit something on this app and a notification goes out to everybody that's listed in this group. So Sallie's phone went off, my phone went off. We were trying to ignore it, but then the phone kept going off because, like I said, everybody in this group gets notifications. So now everybody else is now texting us. What's wrong with Zach? What happened? Is he okay? So yeah, Sallie happened to look at the phone and she's like, you need to look at that. And so of course, I had to get up and put a leg on and get dressed and
get a leg on.
Get a leg up.
That's such a great. You have your own idiom for getting going. Let me get my leg on. I'm gonna get my good leg on.
Come on, guys, get a leg on. Just like that. That's funny. Nice. So it was crazy because I'm like, what the hell? I'm rushing through the house to get out of there without even knowing any detail. So this is, I guess, this world of technology, man. Instead of somebody calling saying, "Hey, Zach's been in an accident, get over here," it was just saw it on the phone, rushing around. His mother then called me. My ex-wife, she called me just as I was leaving the house. He called her, but but one thing that doesn't change, regardless of how you find out, is of course you picture the worst.
Yes.
And then, the pull up.
As you're driving up, yeah, that is
And then
frightening.
I saw that from a little bit of a distance. I was like, oh, my goodness. And it was funny because he goes, oh, it's not that bad. I was like, this is total. What are you talking about?
Which is hilarious because I looked at that and I'm like, well, at least it's like obviously completely fucked. Because I can't tell you how many accidents I've been where the car doesn't look that bad, but they're like, oh, it's totaled.
Right.
And you're like,
it's just the adrenaline. They're excited from, the whole excitement and craziness of being in an accident. But you're right. Usually it's that.
Right. Well, you're like, it still turns on.
Right. But yeah, and he was kind of, he wasn't arguing, but he was kind of like, what are you talking about? It's fun. Yeah, slightly combative. I'm like, Zach, this car is total. Defensive, thank you. But, the fact, and then even the cop said, you should consider yourself a lucky guy.
Yeah.
You walked away from this.
Yeah.
Very pleasantly surprised that he walked away from that. It was, he had some cuts and, minor things, but, but he did. He walked away. And again, thank God there wasn't a passenger. I think it would have been a much different time yesterday.
Yeah.
So, but again, thank you guys, and thank you, pal, and thank you everybody for reaching out.
I was gonna write something in my message to be like, if there's anything I can do from East to Talkett,
right,
when I don't actually have to be taking care of my kids. Like, it's like there might be 5 minutes of my day that I'd be able to do something over the phone for you.
Right.
Like,
and that's the thing, right?
I always hate that.
You don't know what else to say.
Yeah,
right?
like you want to say, hey, is there anything I can do for you?
Right.
Like, cook me dinner.
But I always try to think of a way around that. Like, what can I say here? Sometimes, and that's what I'll say. So I don't have any magic words for you.
Yeah, I don't have the words. I always think of like it's like a down south.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they never have the words.
Yeah,
they only have 5 words in their vocabulary.
And if I did have the words, it would take an hour and a half to get them out.
So Elizabeth's got to go. She's going for an infusion. Maybe
feel well.
Yes, absolutely. Be well. If there's anything Andy can do, if you need anything.
Elizabeth, I need you to stare into your device. Look right into my eyes.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh, that's all right. It happens.
You're welcome.
Impressive.
I'm going to clap for myself.
Impressive and, shit, what was it? Oh, and provocative.
Provocative. Fascinating. Schadenfreude. I do not experience any Schadenfreude towards Zach. I'm sure that I'd be interested to know who does.
So would I.
That'd be.
And why?
Because there's always somebody. There's
Oh,
somebody
of course.
that people that I know. There's a lot of people that don't like me. But I'm always fascinated by who it is and in what way it manifests itself. Because the whole frenemy thing, which I love, portmanteaus, another great word to use. Portmanteau is a French word where you're squeezing all these words together to make a new word. So frenemy is an example of that. I remember first hearing frenemy, and I'm like, frenemy is, oh my God, yes. Because there's friends of mine that I'm like, good. I'm glad he fucking got her pregnant. I mean, I feel bad for her, but he deserves whatever is going to happen.
Yeah, right.
This kind of stress. Sorry about the baby. And I mean, you're going to have a baby. So, but not sorry. Sounds like it's dead or something. Sorry. I mean.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not. Yeah, and I hate. See, I don't like sorry, not sorry. And you know what I'm starting to hate now is it is what it is.
I have always hated that one. From the very first time I heard it, I was like, what the fuck is that?
And yet I find myself using it more and more.
Oh, really? I have used it a handful of times. That's it.
I try not to.
I hate
But it's one of those things, again, here it is, this social value thing. Like it's part of that like this low-level interaction that we have with people where you are trying to make yourself like the best-looking friend. Like, hey man, like I was like, I'm going to wait to send you a message. It was fighting. It was until 8:30 because I was like, because he's got a whole day of shit, and there's people texting him left, right, and center. He's having to make phone calls.
Right.
Yep. Let me wait until a time that's not too late, but also that it's late enough that probably most of this shit is in hand. And maybe I can interrupt them banging, but Zach beat me to it.
Yep.
Good job, Zach.
Son of a bitch. I forgot what I was going to say.
Good.
No, I don't. I always go for the honest. Again, like I don't have the words. I don't have any magic words. Sorry. Or I was talking to Elio recently.
Oh, cool.
You must have been there because then I figured let me call him.
Right. What are we doing now?
He recently, about a month ago, he did a gig where Huey Lewis was there.
Cool.
And so I asked her, well, did Huey Lewis sing? And, because he's got the hearing thing. And he hasn't performed in years. So he said, no, he didn't sing, the ear thing. And I said, yeah, that really, I feel bad for the guy. And he goes, he said he was talking to Huey about it. And Huey was talking to a friend of his. Huey was relaying to Elio a conversation he was having with a friend about the same thing. And he says to Elio, my friend just said something that has kind of stuck with me, and it just kind of put it in perspective. And he goes, and I'm learning to accept it. Oh, and Elio's like, oh, what did the friend say? And you're expecting something profound, and
get over it, fucker.
It was, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Well, that is like it's funny because that's a very Long Island, New York metro area.
Metro area, Jersey. Because the Sopranos did it all the time too.
Jersey, and even the schmucks in Connecticut.
The schmucks in Connecticut.
Listen, Connecticut. I have family up there. I love them dearly, but it's like all these people that I've met through the years. I remember when I was in the Air Force, and I think it was in Kuwait, and there was this kid that I just didn't like you just don't like the look of somebody.
Yeah.
And I just didn't, but I'm not gonna make this guy's life miserable. But we're sitting there eating chow, with my buddy John Fell, and he's like over here, and he goes, well, I have a really bad Connecticut accent, and my brain was like, no, no. So I turn to him and go, hey, what the fuck is a Connecticut accent?
Yeah, I've never.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, well, it's like a New York accent, but it also has some, somewhere between a New England and a New York accent. I'm like, yeah, that's not an accent. Like, there is no Connecticut accent. Stop it.
Stop it. Go to your room.
So, okay. And he's like, I'm a Yankee fan. And I'm like, just fuck you. I mean, I'm a Yankee fan, but and I'm always usually like more to the party, but
Connecticut is kind of like the
bastardized stepchild.
Yeah.
Oh no,
they don't have their own identity.
Not really. No.
Ken Pichelle, would that be their identity?
Well,
he's from there.
But Ken Pichelle adopted the accent of where he went to school and settled.
True.
Rather than carry on with this, with being saddled with the Connecticut accent. Maybe that's the Connecticut accent. That actually could be the Connecticut accent. But I told the kid, I'm like, no, you either have a New York or a New England accent. Like, there is no.
Yeah.
I said, Long Island, we do have a. It's a New York accent,
right?
But it's got a Long Island flavor, if you will. So that is different. A Brooklyn accent,
right?
Like, and I always said, like, even if you really think about it, the North Queens accent is and that's actually kind of more of what I have. Christopher Walken. Christopher Walken has the same. I've really listened to him. We have the same accent.
Yes.
He just talks in a different. I'm just going to use my voice, and maybe throw in a little embellishment.
Right. But no, believe me, there are plenty of times where when you're not trying to do walking and it still comes out.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I've heard it plenty of times with
Yeah,
you.
like that. There's like a North and I'm fascinated by accents and like how the New York accent really developed, and really it is like this mashing together of like everything. Like all of the ethnic groups that were forced.
Well, yeah, I mean, really, name a place that's more diverse than New York.
Yeah.
Well, or at least the city in Long Island.
Right. Well, not the island. The island doesn't have the kind of like. Think of all the redlining. Oh, here as we sit here in Levittown. I find it funny.
Yeah.
I had a professor who was from Haiti, at Stony Brook, and I honestly didn't know about redlining or anything. And he was telling us about how I think he went to Columbia, like did his grad work at Columbia. It's like sociology, I want to say. And he's like, yeah, I got out here, I got the job here, and the real estate agent set me up. I had a whole list of houses, and then when I got there and she saw me, changed. She's like, oh, this is not for you.
Oh,
and started showing him Brentwood, CI, like not even close to Stony Brook.
Right.
Like,
wow.
Like, dude. And I'm like, oh, wow. And he's like, it's what we go through, and we're, to a lot of us, we're very used to it. And I'm like, I would fucking hate that.
Well, and we know some people that have left New York for that reason.
Right.
I was talking, probably about 10 years ago, I was talking to a girl who grew up in Hicksville. In case you didn't hear me, she grew up in Hicksville.
Wait, what's her name?
Lori. Lori's her name.
Lori. What's the last name?
Good
Where
old
did
Lori.
she live?
She lived off Jerusalem Avenue.
Jerusalem.
Yep.
Okay.
And she was.
I've already entered her.
She
I don't know
was telling me
where
how growing up Jewish, she's Jewish, and what a horrible experience growing up in Hicksville. I was like, what are you talking about? I didn't see any of that, but yeah, and I wasn't sitting there saying it didn't happen. I wasn't challenging her, but honestly, I didn't see that.
Right.
But that wasn't my culture, wasn't my world. So I was just shocked. But, you hear things like this.
What's jacked up is now go to places that do not have large Jewish communities. We do have a large Jewish community on Long Island writ large.
Yeah, right.
But
yeah, a lot of the country doesn't.
No. And even coming from here, I thought the whole world was Catholic. I heard the numbers. I'm like, yeah, right, whatever, bullshit.
Right.
Because everybody, anecdotally, looking around, everybody's freaking Catholic. Like,
right.
And in my town, it was either you went to St. Gerard's or you went to Infant Jesus down in Port. And we were the Infant Jesus types. And it was, I always tell this story. I went to the Air Force. I'm in basic, like the first or second day I'm there. And they're like, all right, who's Baptist? And he's just, not to like segregate us or anything, but they were telling us the times for the chapel on Sunday and all the different services and whatever.
Right.
And so it goes through all of these before it gets to Catholic, which I'm like, why don't you lead with Catholic? Get this out of the way.
Right.
But I'm noticing all these hands going up, and then it's like Catholic, and it was like 7 out of 50.
Wow.
No Jewish. No Jewish. Like that.
That was a good cover.
I got stuck in between Jewish and Jews.
Yeah.
And,
I thought you were just saying Jewish, and then you were trying to save yourself.
But it, like I had one of those spasms, like.
They don't have that for Catholic. Like they'll say Jews for Jewish, but they don't like. There's no
papists.
The licks, Catholic.
Yeah. The abused.
Exactly.
Because that's most of the flock.
But that's why I went with licks. I figured kind of fit.
Yeah, no, I got to tell, like, being not here, and I was exposed to friends of mine. There were friends of mine who were not Catholic that I went to their youth groups that where they were always trying to get us to like show up and
Yeah.
like, oh, tell your mom, we're having a picnic this Sunday, and I'm like, we don't have time for a picnic. Like my mother's not. You haven't met my mother. No, she's very Catholic.
Right,
like,
right.
Super duper.
Super duper.
Like when all of the scandals started breaking, like in the 90s.
Yeah.
I was in the Air Force and I came home on leave, and we're driving to church to go pick up my grandfather and go to 5 o'clock mass. And I go, Mom, like, with everything that's happened, like, you're cool with this? And she goes, well, I will tell you that I've cut down on the amount of money that I've been giving. And I'm like, oh my God, like, this is how I tell a joke that I started using again, which is during the pandemic, Mel Gibson's dad died.
Right.
Have you heard of this guy? Does anybody know about Mel Gibson's dad? I mean, obviously apples, trees, relative gravity. But he's like Catholic, and he's so Catholic that he hates other Catholics. Like that's you have to be that into it to hate others or to draw these lines. Oh yeah, he even wrote a book in the 70s called "Is the Pope Catholic?" Not many people read his follow-up book, which was "Does a Bear Shit in the Woods?" That's my favorite. It's one of my favorites. It was great because Steve Rocco Perillo was like, I like that joke. Because I was like, I'm not feeling this at a mic. And he's like, no, I like that. You got to stick with that.
What is he, religion-wise?
Well, Perillo.
Yeah, okay.
Like, it is fairly easy outside here to make those generalities and whatnot. But, yeah, when I was in Goldsboro, they used to refer to Goldsboro, North Carolina as the buckle of the Bible Belt. And there were more churches per capita. It was one of those places that for a period of time had the most churches per capita.
Yeah.
My ex-wife and I used to laugh our asses off at the names of these things. Because it's like, talk about only having 5 words and you have to like reposition them.
Right.
Like the First Antioch Church of the Assumption. Like, what are you even saying there? You know, like you just kind of lose like... And then you can say anything after that. That you're like, okay, like,
right.
What is this? Wait, what denomination is this even?
Right. Yeah.
Like that you've used so many ambiguous religious words.
Right.
That
like underneath that in parentheses, Catholic.
Right. Like the third, like they
right.
Because everybody likes to be first, and nothing that's never more true than with Chinese restaurants. Best number one, you know, that's it's always like in the title of, I mean, outside of your like Golden Dragons and things like that, but dragon is supposed to be the most impressive of the.
But it goes on. It goes on a lot. You know, you have your number one R-rated show. You know, like a lot of people like to boast. You know.
Yes, in something that can't actually be measured. There is no
or be true.
Right. Well, it can't be measured, so therefore it can't be true.
Well, exactly.
So
That's what I meant.
Don't want to go too deep into
right
that sort of thing. As soon as it's imaginary, it's like, okay, never mind. I'm not putting any more thought into this. Hungry.
Oh yeah?
No, not really.
No, me neither. Yeah.
Not anymore. Not after that conversation. Part of the conversation.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? We got Live from Governor's Green Room returns tomorrow.
Yay!
We've been off for a couple of weeks, but we return tomorrow night.
Kick ass.
And then I mentioned Elio on Monday afternoon. We did that. I think I posted it yesterday or Wednesday.
I thought it was yesterday.
Oh, I did end up posting yesterday because I was going to announce it on the show yesterday. We had Elio. We did a special Q&A with Elio back in June. It went very well. We had a really good response, and a lot of our numbers were good on that one. So we were talking about doing a second one, but then Elio, being that he's out there doing his Billy Joel show. Oh, I'm getting a call about a murder mystery. Nice. Being that he's out there touring Europe with his Billy Joel songbook. he's he's all about Billy Joel, and he mentioned that this month is 50 years since Billy Joel put out his first solo album and did his first solo, perform live as Billy Joel. He had bands and stuff before he hit it big, but he hit it big as Billy Joel. So, so we talked about maybe doing something for that. And I got to be honest, at first I'm like, well, yeah, but we did the Q&A with you, and we're a comedy station. Like, I'm not sure what to do. And he's like, but you cover everything on your show. I was like, okay, you're right, we do. There are plenty of shows here that are just about the comedy,
Right.
or
music show,
music or sports or whatever. And then I'm like, all right, well, we have the Serenity Soul Sisters that has nothing to do with comedy.
Yes.
But I mean, they're fun, but they're not comedians.
Well, it depends on how you look at it.
Well, right. As she walks out the door. So I was like, all right, you know what? The numbers were good. I said, we had a good time. I said, why not? And then he said, well, we're both friends with some of the guys that were actually in Billy's band back then.
Right.
So he's like, talk to them, and, we could probably put something together. I was like, all right, you know what? Let's do it. Why not? Why not? So this Monday at 2 p.m., and I know that's in the middle of the day, but we're trying to accommodate, like Elio's in England. So, we're trying to do it early so people there can watch. The drummer that played with Billy back then, he's in California, so we didn't want to start too early so that he'd have to get up early in the morning. So 2 o'clock, I mean, if you can't watch it live, you can watch the replay. It'll be on YouTube and Facebook. So that's Monday afternoon at 2. That'll be fun. Larry Russell is the bass player. Don Evans, the guitar player, and Reese Clark was the drummer. And then Elio and David Clark, who's been on the show too with us, they actually performed with this band back in 2013 and 14. They went around, doing those songs that they did back then. And, Elio and David Clark filled in Billy Joel's shoes. So, and another guy also joined them, Kenny Ingram, and he'll be doing the show with us too. So it'll be fun. We'll hear the stories from back then. Hopefully there'll be a lot of sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Sweet.
This guy, Larry Russell, he dated, I think I may have mentioned this. He dated, not Liza Minnelli, but the other daughter, Judy Garland's other daughter, Lorna Luft.
Yeah, I think that is her name.
Yeah, he dated Lorna Luft.
Oh, wow.
And he it has nothing to do with Billy Joel, but I might ask him to tell the story anyway. But he was at her house, and he was hanging out, and one night, out of nowhere, Judy Garland came into the room. It was just him, Lorna Luft, and Judy Garland, and he swears Judy Garland sat down. I forget if he said he may have been there. He may have said there was a piano in the room. Maybe he played it, or maybe she sang a cappella. I forget, but she sang Somewhere Over the Rainbow to him.
Right.
He goes, I got my own solo rendition from Judy Garland. I mean, that to me just is mind blowing. But that's that. That's Monday at 2. Yeah, and we're gonna do the green room tomorrow. I'm gonna post, I think, another video probably today or tomorrow. Today from the Smokes, Jokes, and Insults, comedians playing poker. Cool. Do you play poker? Are you into any of that stuff?
I actually am not. Like,
because I'll get you in if you're into that.
I think I would be at a loss. I mean, I could come in as a rube kind of thing, because I just, gambling in general is
I'm the same way.
It's a fool's errand. Like
a fool's errand.
I do love that one.
That's your first comedy album, the title.
That would be one of them. I would want it to be what Billy West wrote me for my first.
Billy West?
When, I think I've told you the story. I was at Icon, which was a science fiction fantasy convention, and he was there, and I went to everything that Billy West's Q&A, and then it was his signing, and I'm like, oh God, I got to get right there. It's going to be a fucking long line and everything. And I go to where it is, and I'm the only one on the line. Like,
for Billy West,
only person for Billy West, and I'm like, because accents, voices, that was the first thing I was really into.
Yes.
So Billy West is like Mahatma freaking Gandhi.
Yep.
The New York Yankees. But I'm like, so Billy West's like, hey, so what do you I paid the $20. I'm like, I wasn't gonna at first. I was just gonna go up and be like, I just want to say that I think you're amazing and you've inspired me in a lot of different ways. And Ren and Stimpy, Futurama, Howard Stern. Like it's like all of my viewing through the years or listening, and it's like, oh, and it was super awkward because there was like a handler with him, like, you know, like don't keep the only one on this fucking line. And but I bought a Ren and Stimpy, a photo of him with the Ren and Stimpy background, and he's like, "What do you want me to write?" I said all this stuff about like him being a huge influence, and like I really loved everything he's ever done. And he's like, "What do you want me to write?" And I hadn't thought of it, so I was like, I wanted it to be something kind of funny, so I said, "How about write a little cream will clear that rash up. Put a little cream on it." And he's like, like I was crazy, and he's like, all right. And he wrote it.
Wow.
And he signed it. And because I just think that, like, what it implies is that I went to my idol.
Right.
And was like, hey, I got this rash. Do you want to look at it? You know, like, yeah, a little cream ought to clean that right up.
Like your buddies.
Right, exactly. Like that's how well I know him. Is
Right.
That, so
I did that to Spanky. When I met Spanky, this was 1991. Wow, 30 years ago. This was before you had to pay like for each autograph.
Right.
So I actually got him to sign 2 things. And the first one was just to Tony Spanky McFarlane. But then the second one, when I was in high school, I think it was 8th grade, I dressed as Buckwheat for Halloween. It's true.
I know. I've heard it, but it makes me laugh like this every time.
And the nickname is stuck. And so some people from high school still to this day call me Buckwheat. And so that was the second thing. I said, can you sign that to Buckwheat? And he did. He did the same things. So I said, well, believe it or not, that's my nickname with my friends. He goes, okay. Just like that. I went, okay.
Yeah.
You're to Buckwheat.
Well, it was sad because just as I said that, he looked like he was about to ask me a question. Like after having read it, he handed it to me, and he's like, and then that's when this couple came up. And it was like, oh, let me get out. And the handler's like, all right. And
right.
I was like, thank you, Mr. West. Like, and he's like, oh, call me Billy. And my thanks, Billy. And that was it. Like,
yeah.
Like, fuck. Like, I should have like hung around there and been like, okay, and been like Don Sill. Fucking go back and start giving him a massage.
Right.
Yeah. Mr. West.
You're the best, Billy. You're the
he's
best.
A small guy. Billy West is like tiny.
Yeah.
George Takei. I once had George Takei sign something.
Yeah, you did.
For me.
Oh.
Do you want to see it? I had him tattoo it.
But what? Who's that?
That's Joe again.
Oh, that was Joe again?
Yeah, that was the same swarthy looking individual. They can't hear us out there.
I sure hope not. No, if they did, I would have been kicked out of here a long time ago.
But I stayed in line, and it was right around when Iraq, the 2003 Iraq stuff, and stood in this long line. And my brother's a huge Trekkie, and like, here you go, you know, Mr. K, this is for my brother, so could you make it for Tim? I said my brother's a huge Star Trek fan, and he even joined the Navy because the rank structure is the same.
Right.
And he goes, oh my, is he in now? And I'm like, oh, no. Like, he's like, oh, good. Oh, thank goodness. Like, and I'm like, yeah, thanks. Like, you don't want anything for yourself? I'm like, no, thanks.
He wasn't talking about autographs.
It's all good. That's why Mr. Edison invented the light bulb. So you could turn it off. The mouth's a mouth. $10 is $10. All of those, shake it more than 3 times and you're playing with it. called experimentation until the 25th time.
Nothing wrong with that.
I don't know how many more of these I have.
All right, well, with that, I think we're going to, unless you had, did you have anything that you
I
wanted
don't
to?
think I did. No, I think, well, just talking about the
George Takei.
bombing.
Well, all right, so, and then you said you have nothing, because I want to, are you anxious to get up there again and kind of like get the, like a redemption
Yeah,
going?
well, not redemption. I just want to, like, as much as I always want to get up and perform. Like, it happened. And, like, it's obviously something I need to work on to be able to power through whenever I get that moment where I feel, like, I gave up on a couple of jokes. I started, and I was like, never mind.
Really? Like, you didn't even finish
a couple of
some
them,
of your
yep,
jokes?
because I was so like, they are not listening at all. Like, this guy over here was like,
oh.
Because especially when I did Dracula, and they're like it's corny. They're not. These
Right,
aren't
they're not
funny
getting it.
fucking
Right.
jokes. They're not.
Right.
What's funny is how they're delivered and
right.
the stuff around it, like not. And so it was just, I'm like, oh, they really don't, like, they just want to leave. Like, I could tell, and like, and then you don't want to stand in the way of that sort of thing.
Right.
Because I'm not
Right.
that much of a, I'm a narcissist, but I'm not that much of a narcissist.
We've done a handful of murder mysteries where same thing. Nobody cared. People wanted to leave. And you get to the point where it's time to solve the murder, and I'm addressing the audience. So we got to do this. I want you to question the suspects. And I would just start going, and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, I remember one time one woman stood up. I did that. One woman stood up. She goes, I'm listening. I go, oh, you're the one. And I just turned to her and I explained the rest of the show. It's frustrating.
Yeah. And I've acting background more than anything. Like, you put out the crowd, the fourth wall, very real thing for me anyway.
Right.
Like, I
Yes.
treated it very seriously. Excuse me. Of course, I did the things like locate my mom. Like, there's that sort of thing, but to be in the moment and be where I'm supposed to be,
right?
I've always taken that very seriously. So with stand up, where you really do need to be in the moment and kind of you're reading the room, it's like, you hate me.
Mm.
Oh God, you all hate me. Oh my God, it's third grade again.
Right. And then you started crying and peed your pants.
Yes.
And got your hand smacked with a ruler.
Yes.
All right, guys, enjoy your weekend. We'll see you tomorrow at 7:30 for live from the green room. Me, Sallie, and Don will be here. Sunday night, Christy Miller, 8 o'clock. That's her new day and time. Yeah, Sunday at 8. Christy and Mark Riccadonna. And then Sallie and I will be back here Monday. And then, we'll try to get Joe Pontillo back next week. Frank Viala's coming in Tuesday for Tuesday Trivia. And there you go. All right, everybody, have a great weekend. Thank you, pal, as always.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys later. Suck it.